Hey YouTube, I'm Kishan, and in this video we are going to design this amazing analytics landing page. So let me give you a demo of it. So this is the navbar, then this is our home section. This background is created using CSS clip path. Then we have the features section. Then we have the services section. Then we have the pricing section, and at the bottom we have our footer. Then this is scroll to top. When we click over this, it will scroll to the top of the page. You can see that it has the effect of fading in and fading out. Then we have created this custom scroll bar. Let me reload the page so you can see the animations. For animations, we have used the scroll reveal library. So as we scroll the page, the content would appear. Now this template is also responsive. Let me switch it to the mobile mode. So this is the mobile mode. Now we have this responsive navbar. Then the pricing section here is scrollable. Yeah, that's it. So without wasting any further time, let's design this template. So now I have created this base setup. Here you can find that we have this index.html. Then we have the styles folder. Inside that we have the base folder. Then we have this base partial. Here I have imported the Google fonts of Roboto, and we have this variables of colors. Then we have the components that we are going to use and that are imported in the index.scss file. Then we have the scripts. This has the animation.js and script.js. Both are empty. You can find this base setup in the GitHub branch given in the description of the video. So now, without wasting any further time, let's get started. First we'll have our home section. So before that, we'll create the markup for our index. So I'll write exclamation mark. Then VS Code will automatically generate the code. Then in the styles folder, we have index.scss. I'll write here watch sass. This will automatically generate index.css. This is a plugin, live size compiler. You can install it using the VS Code extensions. Then inside here, I'm gonna change this title to analytics, and here I'll write link, and the path would be index.css, and in the body at the end I'll write script source, and the source would be script.js. I'll copy this, paste this, and I'll change the script.js to animation.js. That's it. Now we'll create an wrapper app. Inside this, all our content would be there. Then here we have section dot home. This is the home container. Then inside that we have main container. Inside that, first we will have the backgrounds. We have two backgrounds. First is image styles, not in the styles, it would be in the assets and background.svg. Here we'll write background. This would have class of background1. Then we'll just copy this, and after this would be background2.svg, and this would be background 2. Save it, and after this div, yeah, we have our navbar. Inside the nav, we'll first have the brand container. Inside the brand container, we have brand. In the brand, we'll have our logo, which is in the assets logo.svg. Here we'll write logo. Then after this, we have div with a class name of toggle. Inside that, we'll have image source assets, and here we'll write toggle.svg, and the alternate text would be toggle. Okay, so after this, we have the links container. Inside that, we have ul with class name as links container ul. Inside that, we have li and a, and we'll just write this hash and products. Then I'll just copy this, paste it, and we'll just change the content. This would be pricing, this would be FAQ, this would be blog. I'll just save this, and after this ul, we have div with a class name of auth buttons. Inside that, we have two buttons. First is for sign in, and the second one is for sign up. Okay, that's it. So our nav is complete. Then we have the home container. Inside the home container, first we'll have the content. Inside that, we have an title container. Inside the title container, we have our image, which is the path is assets and home1.svg. So here we'll also provide the alt as home, and we'll also need a class. So the class is home hyphen title and hyphen image. This image will only be visible in the responsive mode. In the desktop mode, it would be hidden. Then after this, we have an h1 with class name of title. Here we'll write monitor your business on real time dashboard. After this h1, we have an p tag with class name of description. I'll copy the content from here, paste it. It's just a simple lorem ipsum text. And after this p, we'll have a button which has text as try for free. Save this, and after this section, we have another section which is for the home images. Here we'll just write image container div. Inside that, we have two images from the assets, and this is home1.svg. This would be home, and class would be image1. Save this, copy this, and here we'll just change the image1 to image2 and home1.svg to home2.svg. That's it. So markup for our home is completed. Let's open this file with live server. Okay, so images and content is here. Let's style this. So I'll head over to the home.scss file first, and here let me shrink this so you can see the code. We'll write home. We have height of 102 viewport height. Then we'll give it a background color of var pink. So this pink is for this background. Will then clip this using CSS clip path. Okay. Then we'll use clip path polygon. Then we'll supply 0 space 0. Then 100%, 0%. Then again 100%, and this time this would be around 78%, then 0 and 100%. Save this, and yeah, we have our CSS clipart shape. Now we'll give it a margin bottom of 4 rem. So before doing that, we have some margin here, we need to remove this. We'll do this in base.scss. So let's head over to base.scss, and here what we'll do is first we'll have the star selector and give it a margin of 0 and a padding of 0. We'll also supply box sizing of border box. So all the elements have default margin and padding. This will remove that. Then here we'll also have HTML scroll behavior of smooth. This is for smooth scrolling. Then we'll select the app and give it a background color of var background. Then we'll also give it a font family of Roboto, which is in the variable. So we just have to write font family. After that, we'll give it a position of relative and overflow X of hidden. Okay, that's it for that. Now let's while we are here, let's also style the scroll bar. So we'll write WebKit scroll bar, background color of var primary color. Then we'll give it a width of 0.2 rem. So this will just style this background, and for the thumb we have to write WebKit scroll bar thumb. I'll use the shorthand property for which is given in the SCSS. We'll write background color of var pink and a border radius of 1 rem. Okay, the pink scroll bar is here. Now let's style this home container. Head over to home.scss, and now we'll select the main container here. Main container. We'll give it the height of 100 viewport height. Then we'll give it a position of relative, background color of var primary color. Then we'll also give it a clip path. We'll copy this. This is the same clip path. Okay, so we have the effect here. Now let's provide it a padding. Padding would be 2 rem and 10 rem. Then let's align the backgrounds now. Backgrounds. This is background 1. We'll give it a position of absolute, and we'll give it a left of 0 and a top of 0. Background 1, is this working? Let me check this. I'll provide display of none. Okay, it's working, and it's not working for background one. Let's check the index.html and check what class name we gave that. Okay, so this is background, save it. Okay, it's working now. Let's head over to home.scss and remove this display none. It's been aligned. Now copy this, paste it. So now here we'll write right of 0 instead of left, right of 0 and top of 0, and we'll also give it a height of 100 viewport height, and this is background 2. This is not working. Let's provide display none to this. Yeah, we have error in the class name. Okay, this is background 2. Head over to home.scss and remove this. Not height, we'll remove this display none. Yeah, that's working. So now we'll go to the nav.scss to style our navbar first. So navbar.scss will write nav here, display of flex, align item center, gap of 5 then we'll write brand container, we'll write toggle, and we'll remove this toggle in the laptop mode. We just need it in the mobile mode. So we'll write display of none. Then we'll have the links container. We'll provide as display of flex, justify content of space between, align items of center, and a width of 100%. Okay, then we'll have the UL. We'll also give it a display of flex, list style type, none. Then we'll provide gap of 6 rem. We'll select the li inside it and the a inside it. We'll give it a color of var, secondary color, and a text decoration of none. After this we have the auth buttons. These are this side, auth buttons. We'll give it a display of flex, gap of 2 rem. Let me switch the VS Code to this side so you can see that, gap of 2 rem. Then we'll select button inside it and we'll provide background color of transparent. Also we'll give it a font family of where font family. Then we'll give it a padding of 0.5 rem and 2 rem, 0.5 rem, 2 rem. We'll provide border radius of 2 rem. Also we'll give it a border of 3 pixel solid var line. Now let's have the color. Color would be var secondary color. So now after this we will have cursor pointer, and after this we'll select nth of type. We'll select the first, and we don't want border for this, so the sign in button would not have. Okay, we have some issue here. That's it. This sign in would not have the border, so that's it. So our navbar is style. Now we will have this home. So let's head over to home.scss, home.scss, and here our image is not loading. Why is that? Let's go to index.html and inside the title container, home.svg, not svgs. Yeah, images here. Now inside the home, after this background too, we will have the home container. Home container will give it a height of 100%. Then after the height, we'll select the content, give it a display of flex direction of column, align items of flex start, then we'll give it a gap of 2 rem, width of 50%, a height of 90%, then we'll give it a justify content of center, then we'll select the title container, give it a display of flex direction of column, a gap of 1 rem, then we will select home title image and give it a display of none. Then after this we'll select the title, give it a color of white and a font size of 3.5 rem. Then we'll select the description, we'll give it a color of where secondary color. After that we'll give it a font size of 1.1 rem. That's it. Now we'll select the button, we'll give it a color of white, this is color, we'll give it a background color of where pink, we'll give it a padding of 0.7 rem and 3.4 rem for left and right, we'll give it a border radius of 2 rem, we don't need the border, we'll give it a font family of where font family, then we'll give it a font weight of bold and a cursor of pointer. So yeah, that's it for the title container. Now we have to have this images here. So after all of this, we'll have home images, give it a position of absolute, save it, then we'll give it a top of 15 viewport height and a left of 55%. Then we'll select the image container, give it a position of relative, we'll select the image 1, give it a position of absolute, image 1, select the image and the size, max inline size would be auto. Instead of auto we'll write 100%, and I think our image is not coming up. We have home image. Let's see if the class name is correct. Give it a display of none to check if it's going. No, we have a problem with the class name. We have home images. We have home images. Home images, okay, it's working now. So let's remove the display none. and the images are here. After this image, we'll write image 2, give it a position of absolute. This is absolute, and we'll give it a top of 18 viewport height, left of -5 viewport width, and we'll provide the image a max inline size of 100%. That's it. So our home container and navbar is complete. So now we will have the features container. Let's head over to VS Code. So now we'll move on to the index.html and write the markup for services section, features section. So we have section with a class name of features. Inside that we have our title container. Inside the title container we have an h2 with main features, and this also has a class, and the class name would be title. Now we have a p tag with description as class name. We will copy the content from here. This is again lorem ipsum, paste it, and after this div we have the content div. Inside that we have feature. Inside the feature we have the image class. Inside that we have the image, and the source would be assets and features1.svg. So the alt would be feature. After this we have feature content. Inside that we have h4 with a class of title, and inside that we will write monitoring 24/7. Then we have p with description. We'll copy that again from here, paste it here, and that's it. So our feature is complete. Now let's copy this. Where is this completing? Yeah, here. So we'll copy this and paste it 2 times. Here we'll change the image to feature2.svg, and the title would be widget systems. We'll remove this 24/7 and we'll replace this description. Here this would be feature3.svg, and this would be best performance. Yeah, so that's it. So our markup is complete for the main features. I think we need to reload it. Yeah, it's here. Now let's head over to features.scss and write the styles. So first we'll have features. Inside that we'll give it a display of flex, a flex direction of column, gap of 3 rem, then we'll give it a margin of 5 rem, 0, then we'll give it a justify content of center, then we'll give it a padding of 0 and 10 rem, we'll give it a text align of center, then we'll select the title container, this has dash in between, we'll give it a display of flex direction of column and a gap of 2 rem. Then we'll select the title, give it a font size of 2 rem and a color of where primary color. Then we'll select the description, we'll give it a padding of 0 and 2 rem to left and right, and a color of where secondary color. After this, we'll give it a line height of 1.5 rem. That's it. Now we'll select the content. First, we'll give it a display of flex. Then we'll give it a gap of 3 rem. Select the feature. Give it a display of flex. Flex direction of column. Gap of 1 rem. Align items of center. We'll select the title and description. So let's copy the title and description from here. Copy, paste. We'll remove the font size. We'll remove the padding. That's it. So yeah, so our features section is also styled and complete. Now we will have this services. Now we'll create the services section. So after this section, I'll write section dot services, and inside it we have div with a class of service and an ID of service number. This would be used for the animations. Inside this, we will have our content div, and inside that we have h2 for title. We will copy the title from here. Then after that we have description, so we have p.description. We'll copy this from here, paste it, and after this content div we have an image div. Inside that we have an image tag that would have assets and service1.svg, and this would be service. So now what we'll do is we'll copy this div of service and we will paste it 2 times, and in the second div we'll have this image and bring it to the top. Now we'll change this to service 2. This would be service 2 as well. The text would be this, and the description would be this. Save it, and now we'll copy the third one. Text and the description would be the same, and the image would be service 3, and this would be service 3 as well, the ID. Okay, so that's it. Our markup is ready. Let me load this. Yeah, our markup is here. Now let's style this. Let me shrink this and let's head over to services.css, and here first we'll have the services. We'll give it a display of flex, a flex direction of column, and a gap of 3 rem. After that we'll give it a margin of 10 rem to top and bottom, and we'll also provide padding. So we have padding to left and right of 10 rem. After padding we'll select the service, give it a display of flex, a gap of 5 rem. We'll select the content, give it a display of flex, flex direction of column, and a gap of 2 rem, and we'll also provide justify content of center. Now we will select the title and description. Let's copy that from features. We'll copy this, head over to services, paste it, and the title would have a font size of 2 rem. That's it. So our services section is styled. Now we will have to create this pricing and footer. So let's do that. So after this services section, we will have another section which has a class name of end container. This would be a container for both the pricing plans and the footer. So here first we'll have a container. It would have backgrounds. Inside the backgrounds we will have image. Image would be background3.svg. This would be background, and we'll have a class of background3. That's it. And after this backgrounds, we will have a div of pricing plan. So inside the pricing plan, we will have the title container first. Title container. We have h2.title, which is pricing plan. After that, we have p.description. Let me copy that from here. And after the description, we have the pricing. Inside that, we have a plan. We have a plan title. We have h3 which says starter. Then we have h5 which says up to 3 users. Then after this plan title, we have plan price. Then we have h1 inside with the price and h5 for the duration. So it is for per month. Then after this plan price, we have a button for order. That's it. So this is the plan. And we will paste it 2 times. And we are just going to change the content. So the second one would have this as standard. This would be up to 20 users, and this would be $99 per month, and this would be up to 200 users, and this would be for premium, and this would be price $299 per month. So that's it. So the markup for our pricing plan is ready. Now let's style this. So first we'll go to the, I think we have to go to footer. So initially we'll have the end container there. Then we'll write clip path, polygon. This would be 0, 18%, and the rest would be 100%, 0, then again 100%, 0, and 0, and 100%. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I made a mistake here. So after this, we have a height of 120 viewport height, and after that we have a background color of pink. Then we'll also provide position of relative. Okay, so let me shrink this so you can see that. This is here. I think we have to give this percentage. Okay, this is 100%. Yeah, that's looking good now. Then after this position relative, we'll write overflow y of hidden. We'll select the container, give it a position of absolute, and a bottom of 0. Then we'll give it the width of 100% and a height of 126 viewport height. Now we'll give it a background color, so it would be on top of this pink background, so this would be primary color. And now we'll also provide a clip part to this, so we would have the effect. So it's not visible yet, but give it a padding of 0 and 10 rem. Okay, so we made a mistake here. This is 128 viewport height. Okay, so the design is here, and after this we'll select the backgrounds, give it a position absolute, and we'll give it a top of 0 and a right of 0. That's it. So it is here. Now we'll have the pricing plan. After this, so we'll select the dot pricing plan. We'll give it a z index of 10. Then we'll give it a margin top of 10 rem. We'll provide a display of flex direction of column, gap of 3 rem. We'll select the title container, and we'll give it a display of flex direction of column, a gap of 2 rem. We'll give it a text align of center. Then we'll select the title, give it a font size of 2 rem, color of white. Then we'll select the description, give it a padding of 0 and 20 rem. After that we'll give it a color of where secondary color, and at last we'll give it a line height of 1 point. This is line height 1.5 rem. That's it. So the title is style and this is color. Okay, it's styled. Now after this description we'll have the pricing. We'll also provide it as z index of 10. Then we'll give it a display of flex, justify content of center. Then we'll give it a gap of 4 rem. This is gap of 4 rem. After gap we'll select the plan, give it a z index of 10, and we will give it a background color of where card color. Now let's give it a height of 22 rem and a width of 20 rem. Then we'll provide a border radius of 3 rem. Give it a display of flex direction of column, and a justify content of center, and align items, not content, align items of center as well. After that we'll give it a gap of 2 rem. Then we'll give it a text align of center. Now after this, what should we do? Let's select the title and give it the h3, and inside the h3 we'll give it a font size of 2 rem. This is font size. We'll give it a color of, the color would be white. Then we will select the h5 and give it a color of where secondary color. Now let's copy this title, paste it, and we will change this to price, and this would be h1 and the font size would be 3 rem. This would be h5 and color would be secondary color. Save it. That's it. Now we will have the button. Button would have a color of white and then we will have a padding of 0.7 rem and 3.4 rem. After that we'll give it a border radius of 2 rem. Then we will have a border of 3 pixels solid and color would be the line color. Okay, now let's give it a background color of transparent. Also font family would be where font family. After the font family we'll have the font weight of bold. Then we will have the cursor as pointer. That's it. So it's almost styled, but now we will have this elevate effect to this and the background of white to the standard one. So here what I will do is I'll select nth of type, select the second one, save it, and now inside this I will first give it a background color of white. Then I'll also transform it, translate y minus 20 pixels, so it has this elevate effect. And after that I will select the plan title, select the H3 and give it a color of where primary color. Then I'll select the plan price, select H1 and give it a color of primary color as well. And we will select the button, we'll give it a background color of where pink. Then we'll remove the border, so we'll write border none. Yeah, that's it. So this is styled. Now we also have this box shadow over this. Let's do this, the box shadow. So here we'll write box shadow. We have RGB of 0, 0, 0 and 0. Then we have 0 pixels, 20 pixels, 30 pixels and minus 10 pixels. That's it. So the shadow is here and our pricing container is completed. Now we will have the footer. Now let's head over to index.html, and after this div we will have the footer tag. Inside that we will have a brand. Inside that we will have our image. Image would be assets and this would be logo white. Then after this div we have a div with a links. Inside that we have UL. Then we have 4 li inside this. The first is product, second is pricing, third is FAQ, fourth is blog. So that's it. And after this div we have a div with a social class name. Inside that we have UL and inside that we have li, and inside that we have image. Image would be assets Facebook. That's it. We are going to copy this, paste it 2 times, and we'll just replace the name with Instagram and this would be Twitter. That's it. So markup for footer is ready. Let me reload this. It should be here. Okay, it's not here yet. We have to style this. Okay, so let's head over to footer.scss, and now after all of this we will write a footer tag, and let me shrink this. and write margin top of 4 rem. Let's check the background color to red and see if it's visible. Okay, so that's here. We need to fix that. Display of flex, then we'll give it a justify content or space between. Okay, so we have made a mistake. Inside the index.html, the footer tag would come inside this div, so now it would be visible. Fix that. Then after this justify content center, we will have a border top of 3 pixel solid, and we will have where of line, it's there. Then after this we will have a padding top of 4 rem. Then we will have the links. We'll select the UL, give it a display of flex, gap of 2 rem, list style type of none, select the li. We'll first give it a color of where secondary color. We'll give it a letter spacing of 0.1 rem and a cursor pointer. That's it. Then we will have our socials, so that is here. So after this div we will have our social. Select the UL, give it a display of flex, let's give it a display of none to see if it's working. Display none. Okay, it's not working, so let's check the class name. Social, it's the same. Okay, this should be outside of one bracket. Yeah, it's visible now. Display flex, gap of 2 rem and a list style type of none. We'll select the li, select the image and give it a cursor of pointer. Yeah, that's it. So our footer is also styled. Now we will have the scroll to top. Head over to index.html and at the top inside the app we will first have an a tag. This would be hash, and inside that we will have an image that would be assets and scroll logo.svg. This would be scroll logo, and this would have a class name of scroll to top. That's it. Now it should be here at the top. Now we need to style this and have a position fix, so it would be here. Okay, so let's copy this class name, head over to scroll to top, and here we will paste it. Let me have this side, and we'll give it a position of fixed. Then we'll give it a bottom of 40 pixels, right of 40 pixels, z index of not z index, z index of 20. Then we will have a cursor of pointer. After that we will have a background color of where primary color, and after that we'll have a border radius of 100%. Then we will give it a display of flex, justify content of center, align items of center, and we will also give it a padding of 1 rem. Then we'll give it a transition of 0.5 seconds ease in out. So whenever it will appear, it will have the fade in effect, and whenever it will disappear, it will have the fade out effect. So for that, we'll have the scroll visible, which will have the visibility to visible and an opacity of 1, and then we will have the scroll hidden, and the visibility for that would be hidden and the opacity would be 0. So let's check this. Okay, that's working. Now we have to write the JavaScript logic to make it appear and disappear. So for that, we'll go to the script.js, and inside that we will first get the element, scroll to top, is equals to document dot query selector. We'll have the class name. Now we'll add an event listener to the window object. So whenever the user scrolls, this function will execute. If the window.page y offset is less than 100, then we will have the scroll to top dot class list is equals to scroll to top plus scroll hidden. Let's copy this, and otherwise we have scroll visible. Save it. Okay, it's appearing and disappearing. So that's it. So our scroll to top is ready. Now let's add animations to this template. Let's head over to index.html, and at the end, before this script, we will write script source, and the source would be https unpackage.com/scroll reveal. So we'll be using the scroll reveal library for the animations. So that's done. Now let's head over to animations.js, and inside here we will have const sr is equals to scroll reveal. Inside this we will first have an origin of bottom, then we'll give it a distance property of 100 pixels, then we'll give it a duration of 2000 milliseconds and a reset of false. Also we'll give it an opacity of 1. Let's remove this opacity, we don't need that. Then we'll write sr.reveal. Here we'll pass an string. This would be nav, then this would be home container. This is the order of the animations. So we can write anything here, the HTML elements, then we can have the class name, or we can have the IDs. Then we have the image container. The order in which this is written is the order which the animation will run. Then we have features. Then we have service 1. We have service 2. Then we have service 3. And we have pricing plan. And at the end we have the footer, and after this string we will pass an object which would have interval of 200 milliseconds. So that's it. Now let's test this. The animations are working, as you can see. As we scroll, the animations are appearing. Okay, so that's done. Now we need to fix an bug inside script.js. We'll go there, and after 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second, we'll run and set timeout. this would be after 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. So after 1 second of the animations, we want to remove the transform properties from navbar and home. Because of that, we were having issues in the responsive nav. Then we have navbar dot style dot transform is equals to none. We will copy this and do this for home. Here we'll write home container. Yeah, that's it. So bug is fixed. Okay, so that's it. So our animations are here. Now we need to make this template responsive. As you can see that it is not at all responsive. So now we will make this template responsive. So now first we will have this home section responsive before the navbar. So let's head over to the home.scss and first we'll have this home images, and here we'll write media screen and min width of 280 pixels and max width of 1080 pixels. This is width, and we'll give it a display. Before that, let's copy the media query. So we'll just paste it to otherwhere. We'll write display of none. Okay, so images are not gone yet. Display none. Okay, images are gone. This is the background images. So that are gone. Now let's head over to the top here, and here we'll write the media query, and here first we'll give it a height of 140 viewport height. Let me shrink this so you can see it more perfectly. So height is 140 viewport height, and the main container would have an height of 138 viewport height. After that, we will give it a padding of 0. Then for the backgrounds, we'll provide display of none. After that, we'll select the home container, select the content, give it a width of 100%. Then we'll give it the height of max content. Max content. After that, we'll give it a margin top of 2 rem, padding of 1 rem. We'll select the title container, select the home title image, and give it a display of block, and will also provide it a max inline size of 100%. Then we will select the title and give it a font size of 2 rem. So that's it. This is styled. Now we have to style this navbar. So let's do one thing. We will style this navbar at the end. Let's complete all other sections first. So now let's head over to features.scss, and inside that, at the end, we'll paste the media query. First we'll give it a padding of 0 and 1.3 rem. After that, we'll give it a text align of start. Select the title container, select the description, and we'll give it a padding of 0. Give it a padding of 0. Okay, we have an issue here. That's it. Now we'll select content, give it a flex direction of column, Then we'll select the feature and give it a flex direction of row. And we will give it a align items of flex start. Also we'll give it a gap of 2 rem. So that's it, features is styled. Now let's head over to services. Inside the services, at here at the end we'll paste the media query. We need to copy it again. Head over to features, copy, services, paste. Here at the end we'll give it a padding of 0 and 1.3 rem. After this we'll give it a text align of start. Let me scroll this. Then we'll give it a title container. Select the description inside and give it a padding of 0. Then after this we'll select the service, flex direction of column. We'll select the image. Inside that we'll select the image and we'll go to max inline size of 100%. Then we will select the %nth of type. We'll give it a flex direction of column reverse for the second one. Okay, so that's it. So services is also styled. Now we have this pricing and footer. Let's head over to footer. Here what should we do? Not sure. We can do one thing. We'll go to the footer end first and we'll style this. This won't be visible to you, but we'll just have this align items of center and we'll write links to display none. That's it. So that was for the footer. And now for the pricing plan, what we will do is go to here and here we'll have our magic. We'll give it a height of 145 viewport height. We'll select the container, give it the height of 143 viewport height. Then we'll give it a padding of 0.1 rem. Padding of 0 and 1 rem. Then we'll select the pricing plan. We'll select the title container. Select the description. Padding of 0 and 0.2 rem. Then we'll select the pricing. We will give it a width of 80 viewport width. Overflow of auto. Then we will give it a display of flex. Justify content of flex start. After that we will have a gap of 3 rem. Padding left of 2.4 rem. And we'll have the WebKit scroll bar removed. We'll write display of none. And after this we'll select the plan, give it the height of 50 viewport height, and we'll provide a padding of 0 and 2 rem. We'll select %nth of type 2. We'll remove the transform of none, and a box shadow of none, not box sizing, a box shadow of none. Okay, so that's it. So this is styled and this footer is also styled. Everything is complete, just we have to make this navbar responsive. So let's head over to navbar.scss. We have to do many things for the navbar to make it responsive. So here at the end we'll paste the media query. Give it a padding top first of 1 rem and a gap of 0. After this we'll select the brand container, give it a display of flex, justify content space between, align items of center, width of 100%, padding of 1 rem, and the toggle would be block, display of block. Save it. So we have the toggle here. Now after this toggle we have the links container. We will provide it a width of max content. Then we'll have a show class. It would have an opacity of 1. We'll mark this as important. After that we have visibility of visible. We'll also mark this as important. After the visibility we'll have the right. No, we don't need the right. We'll just give it a width of 60 viewport width. After show we will have an UL and the position would be absolute. Top would be 0. After top we have right, which would be 0. Right 0. Then we have background color of where pink. After that we have a height of 100 viewport height. After that we have a width of 0. Then we have visibility of hidden. Then we will have an opacity of 0. We will give it a flex direction of column. Justify content of center. Align items of center, and a transition of 0.5 seconds is in out. So this would be hidden as of now. We will have that visible on the click of the toggle button. Then all the li would have the white color. Then we don't need the auth buttons. So this should be here, auth buttons, and we'll provide a display of none. Okay, now on the click of this toggle button we will have the navbar open and close. So let's head over to script.js for writing the JavaScript. Inside here control V script, and here we'll have the const html is equals to document dot query selector html. Save it. After that we will also have the toggle responsive toggle is equals to document dot query selector, and this is toggle. Let's check it if we have given the ID to the toggle. Search for toggle. No, we haven't provided an ID. We will write an ID is equals to toggle. Head over to script.js. Now we will have the toggle. Now whenever we click on this responsive toggle, first we will stop the event propagation, and for the responsive Okay, we also need the responsive navbar, so we'll have that responsive navbar is equals to document dot query selector, and this would be links container ul. Now inside here we'll have responsive navbar dot class list dot toggle, and we'll pass the show. Okay, it's coming, but for closing we have to write the JavaScript code. So we'll write html dot add event listener, and whenever we click on the HTML we want to close the navbar, so we'll write responsive navbar dot class list dot remove the show class. Let's check that. Okay, this is HTML. Okay, it's closing, but when we click inside here then also it's closing, and for that we will write responsive navbar dot add event listener, and whenever we click inside this we want to stop the event propagation. Event e dot stop propagation. That's it. Okay, it's still not working. This is responsive navbar. Okay, it's not closing now. When we click outside of this, it will close. So yeah, that's it. So this template is responsive and it's ready. So let me give you a final demo. This is the responsive mode. This is the responsive navbar. This is scroll to top, and this is the laptop mode. That's it for the video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you have any questions you can always ask them in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. See you next time.